Hey guys, and welcome back to Orca FPL. This week I got 69 points and a second green arrow in a row. This puts me on 488 points overall and an overall rank of 404k. This gave me a nice solid increase of 120,000 places. Southampton had a great game against Newcastle with a 2-0 home win. Alex McCarthy picked up the clean sheet, but unfortunately once again I didn't have Walker-Peters in my first team. This came back to bite me as he picked up the clean sheet and 3 bonus points. Max Kilman didn't have the best of games as Wolves had a narrow 1-0 loss to Leicester. Kilman also managed to pick up a yellow card to end the game on a single point. On the flip side of that matchup, James Justin had a much more solid game, picking up 6 points with the clean sheet. Trent Alexander-Arnold had another disappointing result and only played 62 minutes before coming off. Having only picked up a single clean sheet in 8 game weeks and a single assist, I don't see him being great value currently. With the defensive injuries that Liverpool have picked up, I don't see him being worth holding for the near future. In midfield, Podence struggled against Leicester and didn't make it to 60 minutes before being taken off by Rodgers. Mohamed Salah played well against City and picked up the opening goal with a penalty in the 13th minute. He has unfortunately been red flagged due to catching the coronavirus and is set to miss the next game against Leicester. Bruno Fernandes was by far the best player this week for my side, picking up a massive 18 points with 2 goals and an assist against Everton. Not only did he have those attacking returns, but he also picked up 3 bonus points. Unfortunately, he did pick up a yellow card, but we'll take that given his impressive haul. For Spurs, Son had a rather quiet game with no attacking returns, but Harry Kane was the difference between a stubborn West Brom and an attacking Spurs team. Kane was able to punish a lapse of concentration by the West Brom defence to slot in the winning goal in the 88th minute. Despite being on the end of a 3-1 defeat to United, Dominic Calvert-Lewin provided the assist to the opening goal of the game. Whilst not being the goal we expect from him, he's continuing to get attacking returns even when his side struggle. So far this season, he's only had a single game without an attacking return. Some absolutely incredible form. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Mitrovic failed to get an attacking return and has sealed his exit from my side. Over the international break, I had a tough time figuring out what to do with my side. Whilst I'm happy with the core of my side and I was not particularly hit by injuries or sickness, there were some moves I was tempted by. I had a couple of players I felt would be better off out my side to make some space for more reliable point scorers. The first of these was Alexander-Arnold, who whilst I know has a lot of quality, I feel he isn't in a great place currently to get returns. The second player who has been of concern for a long time is Alexandra Mitrovic, who's just not been able to return regular points. Whilst I would have liked to bring in Kevin De Bruyne, I felt like I was better suited changing out those 2 players. As such, I brought in Tyrone Mings and Ollie Watkins of Aston Villa. Villa have some great fixtures in the next 7 game weeks, so I'm trying to take advantage of their current form and fixtures. Mings has not only picked up 4 clean sheets, but he's also scored 2 goals and picked up an assist. Whilst he is slightly more expensive than some of the other Villa defensive assets, I feel his attacking returns make the cost worth the while. Up front, I was having a tough time deciding between Ollie Watkins and Patrick Bamford, and whilst Bamford is very consistently scoring, the fixtures were the real deciding factor between the 2 players. For the coming game week, my lineup is as follows. Despite the tough fixture, I'm somewhat forced into playing the Southampton defensive double-up of McCarthy and Walker-Peters. This is due to Mohamed Salah being red flagged due to testing positive for coronavirus. On the other side of that matchup, I've got Max Kilman playing his second game for my side. I'm hopeful he can have a slightly better performance this week. James Justin has a very tough matchup away at Liverpool and I'm not expecting much from him. Rounding out my defence is the informed Tyrone Mings who comes up against Brighton. Whilst Villa are a side who do concede a lot of goals at times, they've had their fair share of clean sheets and I'm hopeful they can get one against Brighton. Mings is also a goal threat, which gives me confidence of some form of return. In midfield, I have Podence, who is up against Southampton, and given his positioning high up the pitch recently, I feel like he has great potential for returns, but given his price point, I'm not expecting regular big performances. Bruno Fernandes has a great fixture up against West Brom. However, he seems to get his point hauls in away fixtures. Having come off a 17-point haul, I'm hoping he can pick up where he left off. Heung-min Son and Harry Kane face up against Man City. Spurs come into this game in some fantastic form, and I'm hopeful that the attacking nature of City will open up space for Son and Kane. In some aspects, I think these matches against tougher opponents offer more opportunity for the Tottenham attackers. Ollie Watkins is up against a struggling Brighton who have won only a single game this season, with 3 goals in his last 2 games. I'd like to see a continuation of that form in what should be a relatively straightforward win for Villa. Rounding out my side is Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who faces up against Fulham. You can't ask for a better fixture for Calvert-Lewin to continue his form. With Fulham, Leeds and Burnley in his next 3, he could get into a great run should he convert in this match against Fulham. How did you find the international break? Did the injuries and positive coronavirus tests force you into making transfers? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel to keep informed on FPL throughout the rest of the season. Make sure to keep an eye out next week as we do a review of Gameweek 9 and look at our Gameweek 10 preview.